Hey friends, it's Paul Avila from vegansalive.com. I'm here this week to make an amazing fake chicken recipe that will blow your mind. It's got tons of flavor, great texture, and I think you're gonna love it. So let's go ahead and get started. We got our broth already going. Let's go ahead and quarter half an onion, get that in the pot. And here's another magic ingredient. Thyme. Use some of that, and the other magic deal, give it some flavor, is rosemary. So we got that in the pot with the broth. I'm gonna let that simmer. For the vegetable base or the broth base, I use Better Than Bouillon seasoned vegetable base. This stuff's great. Lasts a long time. Okay, so everything's simmering over there. Now, the magic ingredient, the vital wheat gluten. I also added a quarter cup of, what do you call that stuff there? It's the chickpea flour. Quarter cup of chickpea flour in there, and 1 cup of vital wheat gluten. Let's get the wet ingredients into the blender. Put half a cup of almond milk, a cup of tofu. Let's see what else we're gonna put in there. How about onion powder, salt, dried tarragon, and next up, sage, fresh sage. Always does good. Now that we got all the wet ingredients in the blender, let's go ahead and blend. The broth, the rosemary, the thyme, and the onion, and a little pinch of salt and pepper are over here just barely starting to boil a little bit. And it's very important to keep this at a simmer and not a boil, otherwise your seitan will turn into a giant spongy blob of not good. Now we blended everything up. As you can see, it's looking good. So we're just going to add this right in there. Get it out as much as you can. I'm just going to mix it up. Now, just like last week's seitan, you're going to see this come together pretty quickly. Just throw the little paws in there. Okay. Now as everything mixes up there, we're going to want to knead this pretty good. Otherwise you're going to have a spongy mess and it's not going to be very appealing. Okay, so let's get the bowl out of the way. Okay, so we got our seitan here. Just going to go ahead and knead this for a few minutes. And you're going to end up with a nice looking ball of dough. It's nice and firm, it's pliable, it's got a real bread-like feel to it. So now we need to get this into some chicken shapes. So let's get this ready. Okay, so stretch things out a little bit. So this is a pretty good size one, so we'll go for 6. So here's what we do. Spin these into balls. They're already starting to take a little shape. Now, get it into a kind of mush it as thin as you can get it. I like to give it a good little shape there. Kind of like a chicken breast, much friendlier to the chicken. Drop that right into your broth. Get the next one going. And just repeat this. Now these look a little small. You can see I got my 8-inch knife. It's about 4 inches long. It's okay for these to be a little on the small side because once they get into the broth, they are going to expand. They'll probably double in size. All right. So as you can see, we got our seitan just barely simmering in the broth there. Just threw in the last one. Get in there. So we're going to let these go for about 25 minutes, and we'll check back and see how they're doing in a little bit. The seitan is out of the broth now. It's all done cooking. You can see it's got a nice little shape to it. You can slice this, chop it, dice it, fry it. Tonight I'm going to put it in an Alfredo pasta recipe, and that's how you do it. Thanks for stopping by. Make sure to hit that subscribe button and come back for more recipes for some vegan food that actually tastes good. Thank you.